Previously, in the dungeon of the Mad Mage, the party found themselves being welcomed into the Immortal Vale, the domain of the Sethian Scourges. The group was planning to parley with the Spirit Nagas, hopefully to avoid conflict altogether, and if unable to do that, to at least glean some useful information about their potential enemies. Ashes also needed to speak to the Scourges about Borden, one of his mentors, as this had been the Elder Lycan's last known location. The party was led through the Immortal Vale by a group of drow, some clearly under a mind-controlling effect, while others were not, and one of which sported an emblem of the drow house Breath. The tour took them past many bullywugs who had been mind-controlled as well, through a series of tunnels and caves filled with fungus and supplies. Eventually, leading out to a large open cave with a high ledge all around its edge, the center of which was filled with deep, swampy water. The drow motioned for the party to enter the arena-like location, and they did so after Matashtai summoned his rowboat down into the water. From here, the party rowed south, following the directions of the drow across the length to its southern point. Ezrah could feel a primordial power buzzing in the air here, filling the space with malevolent energy. To the south, the party found a hazy cave filled with twisting, writhing scales, flesh from countless serpentine bodies. Two Ophidian faces pressed through the mass to look upon the party. They had found the Sethian Scourges. The Scourges, Excrutha and Saraketh, spoke telepathically, broadcasting their thoughts to the party. At first, they were pleasant, taking the guise of humble traders, but after attempting to arrange an exchange of information for a favor, the conversation began to turn south. Ashes wanted to ask after Borden, and in return, the Scourges wanted the party to get rid of Karstus, the necromancer, by whatever means they desired. But as negotiations pressed on, the Rod of Rulership was mentioned. This resulted in the Scourge's mood turning sour and Ezrah being hit with a magical effect, though he shrugged it off. After that, the Scourges began to complain that the party was droll, excessively paranoid, boring. An odd air began to take over the conversation as the Spirit Nagas answered Ash's questions about Borden. The Elder Lycan had been here, though only briefly, and apparently he had warned the Nagas that another like him would be following him. He also told the Scourges that he was heading deeper into the dungeon, seeking the Queen in Obsidia, as she was an ally to a most important goddess. As this conversation began to wind down, Bones realized that why these Scourges were being so glib. And that was because they had no intention of letting the party leave here alive. The Nagas began to monologue, and Bones urged the party to flee. Ashes and Matashtai turned the boat, rowing northward hard, and in their wake, a behemoth, frog-like creature crested out of the lake. The creature surged after the party, the Scourges cackling in the distance. The froghemoth snatched at the boat with its tentacles and ripped Ezrah out of the vessel, swallowing him whole in an instant. Bones was able to free the boat, and Ashes and Matashtai surged at the oars, fleeing out of the primordial arena. But their way was nearly blocked by two venom trolls that sprayed poison on the party and stole one of the oars. Fortunately, the monk was able to get the oar back, the rogue was able to wound the froghemoth tentacles, and the blood hunter was able to tear another tentacle asunder as he rowed the boat around the trolls and into new waters. Meanwhile, Ezrah, within the belly of the beast, unleashed the barely constrained power he had gained from the newest piece of the Hos Narketa. His flesh began to crackle with energy, his eyes, hair, and vitiligo going pink with flashes of arc lightning. The sorcerer took on a new form, becoming a spark elemental. He unleashed torrents of energy into the froghemoth's insides, causing the beast's stitched together flesh to rip asunder. Then out flew Ezrah back to the safety of the party. But as he regrouped with his fellows, the abomination and the trolls broke off their pursuit. The party had escaped, but the waters to the west of them began to roil and thrash. And the party remembered that this was the territory of the Queen of Bones. Had they escaped, or had they been shepherded into a deadlier threat? Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.